Good evening from the Sullivan Center on the campus of the University of St. Francis in Joliet, Illinois. It's Fighting Saints basketball tonight against the Saints of Holy Cross as the CCAC season nears its conclusion. Just 3 games left in the year for St. Francis, and it starts here tonight with their penultimate home game of the regular season. The Saints in pink gather along the sideline to get ready for today's game. Just moments ago, Caitlin Aylward was celebrated on the court for picking up her 2,000th career point in the Saints' most recent game, a win against Olivet Nazarene 4 days ago. Aylward ranks 3rd all-time in St. Francis history in scoring. And she enters today's game at 2,012 points. She's also the conference's leading scorer. She'll try to put up a big number today against a Holy Cross team that comes in struggling with an 8-18 record. They sit at 7-11 in conference, and they've dropped their last couple of games. So we'll see how today looks as Kaylin Barlow goes against Jordan Pyle on the opening tip, and it's won by Holy Cross. And Barlow, the Saints of Holy Cross, are going from left to right wearing their black uniforms today. Saints are in pink for the entire month of February. They'll be going right to left for the first 20 minutes. Shot clock is at 12 for Jada Miller. Inside, forced up, no good. It hit the rim. So Holy Cross gets a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Ariel Thatcher passes off to the right side. This is Jada Miller once again. Freshman from Mishawaka, Indiana, fires a 3 and scores. First points of the night belong to Holy Cross. Second chance on their opening possession, and they take a 3-0 lead. Now it's the Saints' turn, winners of 3 in a row. Caitlin Aylward swings it around to the right side. Leah Sims bounces down to the baseline. Jordan Pyle throws it off to Gieske, nearly went out of bounds. Gieske saved it, and the Saints have 10 seconds to shoot. Aylward, left side, fakes the 3, now drives on Barlow, bounces to Gieske, off her leg and out of bounds. It's going to Holy Cross. Good defensive stand for the visitors on their first defensive possession of the game. Saints could not get a good shot off. And here we are, 65 seconds into the game. Holy Cross has a 3-point lead, and they've got the ball. Here's Jada Miller, guarded by Shadrian McDaniel. Miller drives around McDaniel, blocked by Jordan Pyle. Got around the initial defender, couldn't shake the second one. Here come the Saints. Pyle wings it across court. This is Paige Gieske, wanted the 3. Barlow closed in a little bit too fast. Back to Gieske. This time she takes the 3 from the left side. It's no good, and the rebound goes to Kaylin Barlow. 2 of the best rebounding teams in the conference going head-to-head today. Holy Cross averages 46 rebounds per game. Saints average about 36. They've actually got a bigger discrepancy with their opponents, though, than Holy Cross does. Lob down low, Sarah White, turn around, up with the right hand, no good. And Caitlin Aylward rips it away from Kaylin Barlow and draws the foul. Aylward and Barlow both went for the rebound. Aylward took it straight out of the hands of Kaylin Barlow, and Barlow gave a little shove in retaliation for losing the rebound. So first foul of the game goes against Holy Cross's center. Paige Gieske for the Saints, down to the corner for Shadrian McDaniel. Aylward on the right side, down low, Jordan Pyle. Dribbles into the paint, kicks it out, Leah Sims, top of the key, 3 ball is good, we're tied. Leah Sims gets the Saints on the board, the Fighting Saints that is. Holy Cross Saints will try to reclaim the lead, tied at 3 after 2.5 minutes. Here comes a 3-pointer from Thatcher, well short, missed the rim, grazed the net, went straight out of bounds. Ariel Thatcher found herself open, could not put enough underneath that shot though. Thatcher has not made a 3-pointer yet this season. She's only playing in her 2nd game of the year, getting her 2nd consecutive start. Shadrian McDaniel bounces and off to the right side. It's Leah Sims. Down low for Pyle along the baseline. Kicked out to the right wing. This is Leah Sims circling back around to the left. Caitlin Aylward has not scored yet. Conference's leader, averaging better than 20 per game. This is Aylward getting the pass down low from Pyle. Shovels it off to Shadrian McDaniel, who throws up a wild one and misses. Rebound is loose and picked up by Sarah White on the floor. She rolls it out to Jada Miller to start the possession for Holy Cross. Nice work by Sarah White, forcing St. Francis to lose the possession. Thatcher along the baseline, reverse layup, misses off the back iron. Offensive rebound. Holy Cross trying for another second chance point, and they don't get it as Brooke Sturkowitz misses on the long jumper. Rebound to Shadrian McDaniel. Sturkowitz, Ariel Thatcher, Jada Miller are the starting guards for Holy Cross. Their forwards are Sarah White and Kaylin Barlow. Saints guards Leah Sims, Shadrian McDaniel, Paige Gieske, and Jordan Pyle are the forwards, and Caitlin Elward the center as Leah Sims misses on the three-point attempt from the right wing. Sims' three-pointer is the only score that St. Francis has today. We're tied at 3, a very low-scoring start to this game, 4 minutes in. A drive from Thatcher and an offensive foul. This goes on Sarah White. White turns the ball over for Holy Cross. It was a moving screen as Thatcher tried to drive around her. First foul on White, second on Holy Cross. Fighting Saints basketball as Holy Cross makes their first substitution of the game. Cameron Schulteis is in. And so is Taylor Nittler. Paige Gieske off to Caitlin Elward. Three-pointer with Barlow in her face. Knocks it down anyway. Caitlin Elward's got 3. All of our points today have come from beyond the arc. First 3 of the game for Caitlin Elward and the first lead of the game for St. Francis. Jada Miller tries to answer with a runner on the other end. Misses it, and on a battle for the rebound, we've got a tie-up, and it's going St. Francis's way. Everything's going St. Francis's way right now. Defense especially. They have not allowed Holy Cross to score since the first possession of the game. And we're now nearly 4 minutes since that point. Slight delay in the action as they mop up a wet spot where the two players were battling for the ball just moments ago. Jeff Clark, Ken Faulkner, Chuck Gonzalez are the officials in today's game. Calling it relatively loosely so far. 4 minutes, 27 seconds in. We've seen just 2 total fouls, both against Holy Cross. Leah Sims handles the ball for the Fighting Saints. She passes off to her right at Shadrian McDaniel. Guarded loosely on the outside over to Caitlin Elward. Another 3. This one misses, and the rebound goes to Jada Miller. 1 and done for the Saints that time, and Holy Cross takes possession, trailing by 3 halfway through the first period. Miller drives and kicks outside to Nittler. Over to the left, this is Schulteis along the baseline, blocked from behind by Paige Gieske and out of bounds. It may not have been blocked. It was last touched by Holy Cross, and so it is Saints ball. Maybe that Schulteis was just thrown off by the presence of Gieske, and there was no actual block of the ball. But a good defensive stop for St. Francis. Holy Cross loses possession. And the Saints' defensive success continues. They've got to get it going on the offensive end, though. Just 2 field goals made in more than 5 minutes, and their lead is only 3 points. Paige Gieske off to her right. Nice fake by Caitlin Elward. Elward drives and kicks into the corner. Jordan Pyle along the baseline, reverse layup misses, and the rebound goes to Holy Cross. We've got a foul on Jordan Pyle. As Allison Heno grabbed that rebound, Jordan Pyle must have reached at her. First foul on Pyle. First foul on the Fighting Saints. Here's Nittler. Gets the screen from Hano. Leah Sims sticks with her. Jada Miller on the right wing. Drives to the right, cuts down the lane, misses off the backboard. Rebound taps towards the baseline, out of bounds. Last touched by St. Francis. 20 seconds on the shot clock as the Saints make their first substitution of the game. Allie Hernandez is in for Paige Gieske. Hernandez, the senior guard, coming off of a good game off the bench against Olivet Nazarene this weekend, gets her first action of tonight. Taylor Nittler around Leah Sims, lobs it down low for Barlow. Barlow up over Jordan Sims, puts it in. First points of the game for Kaylin Barlow. First points for Holy Cross in more than 5 minutes. Here's Shadrian McDaniel. Jordan Pyle, deep three-pointer, missed it short. Probably not Jordan Pyle's shot, but she was wide open, decided to take the risk. It didn't go for her. Saints continue to struggle with the shot in this first period, and now Holy Cross can reclaim the lead. Miller steps into a three-pointer. Back iron, no good. Offensive rebound, Barlow, back up, no. Rebound to Jordan Pyle. Holy Cross is one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. They've shown it in the first quarter here today, but like St. Francis, have struggled to shoot, and that's cost them as they trail by a point. Here's Caitlin Elward guarded by Barlow, gives it up to Jordan Pyle. Pyle drives down the center, kicks it into the corner. Hernandez misses the three-pointer short, and the rebound goes to Allison Hanno of Holy Cross. Visiting Saints, 8-18 overall for the season. Playing the number 11 ranked Fighting Saints of St. Francis pretty well even here in the first period. Taylor Nittler picks up her dribble. It bounces off to Schulteis. Lob down low to a wide open Kaylin Barlow and an easy layup. Barlow's got 4. Holy Cross has scored the last 4 points. In fact, Barlow's gotten them all. They've retaken the lead 7-6. The Saints of St. Francis are going through a pretty good scoring drought of their own right now. Jordan Pyle, nice drive, now kick into the corner. Good ball movement out to the right wing. Leah Sims drives back to the corner for Hernandez. Well defended by Holy Cross. The Fighting Saints couldn't get an open shot off. Now a step back 3 for Hernandez. This is short. They passed up on probably 3 better shots on that possession than the one they ended up getting. Maybe a little too unselfish on that possession. We've got an offensive foul on Kaylin Barlow as Caitlin Elward ends up on the ground underneath the basket. That's a big foul on Barlow. She's been good on the offensive end, and she's handled Caitlin Elward on the defensive side here in this first quarter. But with 2:14 to play in the first, she has to check out with 2 fouls. And we'll see if Tom Robbins keeps her on the bench for a while, or if he ultimately elects to bring her back in with 2 fouls, because that could turn out to be a huge loss on the floor right now for Holy Cross. Caitlin Elward now being guarded by the backup Sydney Taylor. 6 inches shorter than the starter Kaylin Barlow. Holy Cross knocks the pass out of bounds. 13 on the shot clock for St. Francis. Paige Gieske, after a short breather, is back in for Leah Sims. Gieske up top for Caitlin Elward. Elward trying to take Taylor on the dribble, bounces off to Andriana Acosta. One step to her right, Acosta knocks down a short-range jumper. St. Francis back in front, 8-7, late in the first period. First points of the game for Acosta, who just checked in a minute ago. Ariel Thatcher picks up her dribble, fires across court, over to Brooke Sturkowitz. Sturkowitz to Sydney Taylor, off to the left side. It's Ariel Thatcher. Thatcher drives the baseline, flips it up in the air. It's deflected out of bounds by Paige Gieske. I'm not sure what Thatcher was trying to do with the ball there. She just kind of flipped it up into the air underhand, maybe looking for a teammate down in the corner. She got it deflected out of bounds, so a new chance here for Holy Cross with 7 on the shot clock. Taylor for 3, way off. Missed the rim, I think. Rebound goes out of bounds. And the ball is blown dead. I'm not sure who that one was last touched by. I think it's St. Francis ball. And the reason the whistle blew is because the shot clock reset. That shot did not hit the rim. It doesn't matter. It would have been potentially a shot clock violation, but since it was last touched by Holy Cross, the shot clock resets anyway for St. Francis to take over, leading by 1 with just over 60 seconds to play in the first quarter. Paige Gieske bounces to the top of the key to Shadrian McDaniel. McDaniel drives with the left hand. Layup is good over Sarah White. Strong drive by Shadrian McDaniel. He took it right into the taller Sarah White and floated that shot over her off the backboard and in for her first points. Brooke Sturkowitz picks up her dribble. She's hassled, gives it up to White in the paint. White kicks it back outside. Sturkowitz trying to cut in on Caitlin Elward. Kicks it back out to Thatcher. Thatcher down the lane. Throws up a wild one out of bounds. Thatcher's been good at getting inside so far in this first quarter. Her decision making once she's gotten close to the basket hasn't been great. That time, once again, she just threw it up for grabs. Ended up out of bounds. St. Francis ball with 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Caitlin Elward dribbles it to her left. Shadowed by Sydney Taylor. Here's Acosta bouncing to the right elbow for Hernandez. Right back to Acosta, who banks it in from the right side, just outside the paint. Acosta's got a couple of jumpers for 4 points, leading the team in scoring now as the Saints take their first multi-possession lead of the night. 8 seconds on the clock for Sydney Taylor. Taylor turns around, bounces to Sarah White. White from just inside the free throw line misses. Elward grabs the rebound, and she gets the shot off from the opposing free throw line on time but it falls well short. So the first quarter ends. Wasn't a pretty offensive quarter, but the Saints got hot over the last couple of minutes, and they were able to end the period on a 6-0 run. So we'll take a quick break here. 10 minutes on the clock for the second quarter when we return. St. Francis 12, Holy Cross 7. We're getting set to start the second quarter here in Joliet. Good finish to the first for St. Francis as they scored the last 6 points to make it a 12-7 lead after Holy Cross held on to a 7-6 lead with just over 2 minutes to play in the quarter. They're starting center Kaylin Barlow, who is also one of their leading scorers and their leading rebounder this year, averaging 10 rebounds per game. That's a check out with 2 fouls. She is back on the floor to start the second quarter. It was certainly a different game without her out there. St. Francis was getting to the basket with much more confidence after Barlow checked out. So Tom Robbins, first-year head coach of Holy Cross, showing his faith in her to play with 2 fouls, and we'll see where that goes as Jada Miller bounces it down low for Barlow on the first possession here. Nice find for Sarah White, who lays it in. And Holy Cross strikes on their first possession of the second quarter. Allie Hernandez takes the ball down the floor for St. Francis. Gieske, Alward, Acosta, and McDaniel accompany her. It's Caitlin Alward off to the left side for Hernandez. Now to the corner. This is Paige Gieske. Gieske works it around the perimeter, picks up her dribble on the left wing, and bounces it in the paint for Shadrian McDaniel. 7 on the shot clock for the Fighting Saints. Hernandez down to McDaniel. 3-pointer from the corner is good. Shadrian McDaniel's got 5 points, and St. Francis leads by 6. Shadrian McDaniel knocks down just her 6th 3-pointer of the year. A 15% shooter from beyond the arc. Ariel Thatcher gives it up to Brooke Sturkowitz. Sturkowitz circles the perimeter from the left wing. 3-pointer is no good, and the rebound goes to Paige Gieske. Contested 3-pointer there early in the shot clock. Not what Holy Cross was looking for. As they trail by 6, St. Francis has the ball. McDaniel drives again, off the glass, no. Rebound tipped towards the baseline and brought in by Brooke Sturkowitz. Sturkowitz wants to run, trying to beat the defense back to the other side of the floor. She kicks it out to Jada Miller, and we've got a stoppage with an injured player. Kaylin Barlow is a little bit hobbling. She may have just knocked knees with a St. Francis player. She says she's okay, does not need to leave the game. Hops around on that knee a few times just to make sure she's all right. 8:35 to play in the first half. 6-point lead for St. Francis. Holy Cross ball. Here's Jada Miller. Off to her left, Ariel Thatcher. Thatcher gets the screen from Sarah White, pulls up at the free throw line, step back, long 2, air ball. And the rebound is saved by Sarah White. Nice work by White. Nobody boxed her out. She went down and corralled that miss. Now Thatcher drives and she's fouled. Bad shot from Ariel Thatcher. A contested step-back jumper from the top of the key. Missed badly. But thanks to the persistence of Holy Cross, they're able to keep the possession alive, and now they get 20 on the shot clock as Paige Gieske is called for her first foul. But an offensive foul on Holy Cross sends it the other way. On the inbounds play, a push-off against Brooke Sturkowitz. Check that, it's on Sarah White, and that's White's second. So she and Barlow each have 2 fouls now. That's the starting front court for Holy Cross. Here's McDaniel. McDaniel flings it across court to Caitlin Alward. Alward down to the corner for Allie Hernandez. Up top, Paige Gieske to the left side. This is Alward trying to drive on Barlow. Bounces to a cutting Gieske. Layup is good. Strong layup by Paige Gieske there. She fights it up amidst a couple of defenders. Gieske has her first field goal of the game, 17-9. Saints have their biggest lead. Miller throws up a crazy shot, and it's chased down by Andriana Acosta. Now thrown away by Allie Hernandez, but knocked out of bounds by Thatcher. It stays at the Saints in front of the Holy Cross basket. Leah Sims is back in for Shadrian McDaniel. 17-9. Saints lead by 8. 7:34 to play in the first half. Gieske inbounds to Leah Sims. Right back to Gieske. Gieske bends her knees, elects not to shoot. Passes off to Allie Hernandez in the corner. Back around to the right wing. Leah Sims with 13 on the shot clock. Hernandez to Alward, left side. Alward fires across to Gieske. To the corner, Hernandez. 6 seconds to shoot. Allie Hernandez throws it up to Leah Sims. Sims, deep three as the shot clock runs down. Perfect shot, Leah Sims. She hits on her second three-pointer of the game. And the Saints lead 20-9. Frustrating defensive possession for Holy Cross. They played good defense, forced a tough shot from Leah Sims, but it went down for 3. Now Jada Miller, speaking of tough shots, forces one up and misses off the back iron. Rebound is knocked out of bounds by Holy Cross. St. Francis basketball. Fighting Saints have outscored Holy Cross 8-2 so far in the second quarter. They're on an 8-0 run. It was 12-9. Here's Leah Sims. Sims gives it to Acosta. Way up top, over to the left side, Allie Hernandez. Hernandez trying to get the ball to Caitlin Alward. She's too well defended. Hernandez instead bounces it to a cutting Gieske along the baseline. Gieske misses on the layup. Here comes Holy Cross. A trip, the ball is loose and picked up by Allie Hernandez. Allison Hanno couldn't bring it in. Leah Sims the other way. Bounces it off the foot of Sarah White and out of bounds. Still St. Francis ball. Looked like Holy Cross had a little bit of a break there, but Allison Hanno tripped and fell. She lost the ball in the process. Saints take it the other way. They'll set up the half-court game, provided there's not a foul, but there is. Foul is on Holy Cross, so the Saints will stay right where they are to inbound. First foul called on Allison Hanno. It's the team's second. Sims inbounds to Allie Hernandez. Now to the free throw line. Acosta, another jumper from her is perfect. Andriana Acosta has hit 3 jump shots today, all of them from 15 feet in, as Leah Sims steals the inbounds play right back to St. Francis. Here's Jordan Pyle driving, kicking into the corner. Acosta, another jumper is good. Acosta usually more of an in-the-paint player. She's got 4 field goals today, all of them from outside the paint. None of them long-range shots, but they've all been perfect. She's 4 for 4 shooting and leads all scorers with a third of St. Francis's total. 24-9, Fighting Saints lead. Holy Cross looking for an answer, trying to break this 12-0 run. Brooke Sturkowitz has it taken away by Hernandez. Jump ball, and that's the Saints ball. Fighting Saints, that is. Leah Sims just ripped that ball away. Allie Hernandez in there as well. 12-0 run for St. Francis over the last 4 minutes, and they've got the ball again. Sims to Acosta. Jordan Pyle on the left wing. Pyle passes up top to Hernandez over the right side, now to the corner, through the hands of Acosta and out of bounds. Sims trying to hook up with Acosta there. And she just took her eye off the ball for a moment, let it slide between the fingers. Turnover committed by St. Francis. There's a foul on Leah Sims on the outside. Getting in a little too tight on Ariel Thatcher. 20 on the shot clock for Holy Cross. They'll inbound from the sideline. Here's Thatcher. Thatcher dribbles off to the left side. Has a double screen to her right. Picked up by Leah Sims. Thatcher steps back to the left. Now lobs it to the free throw line for Sarah White. 4 to shoot. I'm not sure Taylor sees the shot clock. I don't think anybody for Holy Cross sees the shot clock. It expires as Taylor Nittler runs out of time. Nobody seemed to recognize that it was running down. And Holy Cross is not able to get a shot off as they turn it over again. Holy Cross has not scored since their first possession of the second quarter. That made it a 12-9 game. Since then, St. Francis has been dominant. Here's Caitlin Alward, quiet through the first half. Bounces to the free throw line for Sims. Good pass to Hernandez. Now outside Acosta. Rattles home another jumper. Can't leave her open tonight. 5 for 5 from the field. Acosta's got 10 here in the first half. Second straight game she's been in double figures, and Holy Cross turns it over again. Taylor Nittler fires it straight out of bounds, a miscommunication, and a timeout called by Holy Cross. Tom Robbins off on the bench has seen enough for now, trying to get his team back into this thing. They were within 3 points early in the second quarter, but the Fighting Saints have scored 14 in a row, and they've got the ball back trying to add more to it. And they've done that all without any real contributions from Caitlin Aylward, at least not on the scoreboard. She only has 3 points. Entering play today, she had scored 20 or more in 7 consecutive games. But the real impressive thing tonight has been she hasn't had to score. She's taken so much of the attention of the Holy Cross defense that's freed up some of her teammates to get some good shots, and we've seen exactly that through the first 15 minutes and change in this game. Lacey Gardner is in for the Fighting Saints with Hernandez, Sims, Pyle, and Acosta, so Aylward checks out for the first time with a 17-point cushion. The Saints will give her a little rest late in this first half, get her back in a little bit fresher later. Lacey Gardner on the left perimeter, off to the top of the key. This is Allie Hernandez. Hernandez right back over to Gardner. Gardner looking for help, she throws it away. Intercepted by Cameron Schulteis, streaking the other way. She misses the wide open layup. And a frustration foul committed by Schulteis on a push immediately after her missed layup. They're going to take it the other way. Couldn't have a more open layup than that, and just banked it a little bit too hard. Not able to get it in, and that's just frustrating right now for Holy Cross. Nothing seems to be going their way. Good defensive play, strong drive, and just no finish there. Hernandez up top and around to the left side. This is Lacey Gardner, just to the left of top of the key. Now Jordan Pyle on the drive. She's fouled going up. 2 shots coming, and I think this might be on Barlow, and it is on Barlow. That's her third. 3 minutes, 43 seconds to play in the first half, and Kaylin Barlow has just picked up her third foul. Jordan Pyle makes the first free throw. Jordan Pyle ranks second on the team, averaging 7.6 points per game. 70% foul shooter, hits them both. 19-point lead for St. Francis. Here's Jada Miller. Off to the left side. Taylor Nittler drives, kicks outside Schulteis. Miller with 15 to shoot on the right wing, hounded by Jordan Pyle. Just 7 on the shot clock. Step back, Schulteis, jumper, gets the roll and falls. First points for Holy Cross in more than 6 minutes. Snaps a 16-0 St. Francis run. Acosta on the outside. She's hit 5 jump shots today, but that's a little bit too far out. Nobody covers. There's Gardner trying for 3 in the corner, and Gardner hits the 3-pointer. Lacey Gardner scores her first points of the night. Gardner off the bench, a 3.3 points per game scorer. Here's Sydney Taylor. Swing around to the left side for Schulteis. Jada Miller. Miller fires across to Taylor. Sydney Taylor, halted by Acosta, kicks it back out. Now Nittler on the drive. Nittler stops and travels. A turnover committed by Holy Cross as Taylor Nittler is whistled for the walk. 31-11. St. Francis has a hefty first half lead. And we've got 2.5 minutes to play before halftime. Justine Charlesworth is in for the Saints for the first time. Leah Sims picked up by Miller. Up to the top for Charlesworth. Lob down low for Gardner. Lacey Gardner fights one up and misses. Rebound knocked around, and Gardner taps it out of bounds. We're going the other way. Good battle for the rebound there, but Gardner couldn't quite pull it in. So St. Francis comes up empty. Holy Cross will try to go on a little run without most of St. Francis's starters in the game. Only Sims and Pyle among the starting 5 are playing right now. Holy Cross just wants to make this a manageable deficit heading into halftime. Ariel Thatcher unable to help on the 3-point attempt. She misses, but a loose ball foul is called on St. Francis. It goes on number 23, Justine Charlesworth. It's Charlesworth's first. It's the team's third foul. 20 on the shot clock, 2:01 to play in the half. Jada Miller inbounds. Miller lobs it up for grabs, and Jordan Pyle picks up the loose ball. Pyle leads the break off to the right side. Allie Hernandez, who slows it down. Now Pyle on the right side, just outside the three-point arc. Puts the ball on the floor and travels. She took the ball off the floor a little bit too soon. Turnover committed by St. Francis. Holy Cross ball. Here's Jada Miller working on Leah Sims. Poked away by Sims. Loose ball secured by Allie Hernandez. Lobbed ahead for Jordan Pyle. One-on-one to the basket. Pyle lays it in. Was able to pull up and let Thatcher blow by her. Pyle's got 4 points. The lead is 22. Here comes a drive from Thatcher. She's fouled from behind by Justine Charlesworth. 2 fouls on Charlesworth in under 2 minutes played. And that sends Ariel Thatcher to the line. Both teams will be in the bonus for the final 77 seconds of the half. Thatcher makes the first free throw. 6 of 7 from the line for the season. Just 5 points in this quarter now for Holy Cross. 2 of them on their first possession. And there's another one for Thatcher. After their layup on the first possession of the second quarter, they went 6 minutes plus without scoring. Jordan Pyle at the free throw line, kicks out for Gardner. Another 3-point attempt. This one a little bit too strong, and it hits off the shot clock, so that's out of bounds. Gardner was 5 of 17 shooting 3-pointers on the season coming in. She's attempted a pair of them today and made 1. Comes Ariel Thatcher on what is potentially Holy Cross's last possession of the first half. Thatcher taking her time. She dribbles down the lane, stripped by Leah Sims. Sims flying the other way, and she pulls back as the defense gets back into position quickly. Nice transition D from Holy Cross. Charlesworth, though, wide open in the corner for 3, missed it. Rebound tipped out to Allie Hernandez, and the Saints will try again. Leah Sims on the right side. Sims trying to spin around Miller. Cuts down the lane, finds Jordan Pyle open underneath, but a whistle blows, and we've got a foul. Fouled before the pass. Jordan Pyle would have had an open layup had that foul not been called, so it's one that St. Francis doesn't necessarily want, but it is a 2-shot foul because the Saints are in the bonus now. 5th foul called against Holy Cross, and Leah Sims has 2 chances from the line where she makes her first. Sims is an 82% foul shooter this year, second best on the team. She makes just 1 of 2 this time, though. So now this will certainly be Holy Cross's last possession of the first half. Ariel Thatcher walks it across the timeline, 15 seconds to play before the break. Holy Cross is down by 21, but they're trying to end the first half on a high note. Thatcher working against Jordan Pyle, drives, dishes. Sarah White from the baseline, air ball. Charlesworth tries to get the rebound, knocked out of her hands, out of bounds with 0.3 of a second left. Saints will inbound it one more time. Not sure they'll have enough to get a shot off. Leah Sims doesn't even try. So those 0.3 of a second tick off, and the first half is over. A very good first half for St. Francis, in particular that second quarter. After the score was 12-9, they went on to outscore Holy Cross over the last 9+ minutes, 22-4, and they carry a big lead into intermission. 15 minutes from now, we'll be back with first half stats and second half action. Stick around. Saints lead 34-13 at the half. Back inside the Sullivan Center, 34-13. St. Francis leads Holy Cross as we get ready for the second half of play. Terry Bonadonna back with you here on the USF Sports Network. Dominant second quarter for St. Francis. They outscored Holy Cross 22-6 in the period. That was after Holy Cross scored on their first possession of the second to make it a 12-9 game. Very tight early as neither team was able to shoot the ball too well. In the first quarter, St. Francis went just 5 of 13, Holy Cross 3 of 17, and then everything turned around in the second quarter. St. Francis went 8 of 13 from the field in the second quarter. Holy Cross didn't get that many shots off. They turned the ball over 10 times over the course of that 10 minutes, and overall in today's game, Holy Cross has turned it over 12 times, St. Francis just 5, and points off turnovers is 16-0 in favor of the home team. St. Francis has been led by Andriana Acosta, 10 points on 5 of 5 shooting. She's got 1 rebound. Allie Hernandez has 3 rebounds to lead the way and 4 assists. Kaylin Elward, just 3 points in the first half. She only got 2 shots off. She scored 20 or more in 7 consecutive games, but they really didn't need their star player in the first half to perform well, as the supporting players did the trick. For Holy Cross, Kaylin Barlow is their leading scorer and rebounder with 4 apiece. She's also, though, got 3 personal fouls, and when she was not on the floor in the first half, things were much easier for St. Francis. It was really a different team when Barlow was playing and when she wasn't. She is on the floor as we start the third quarter with her 3 fouls. All 5 starters are out there for both sides as we begin the second half with the ball in the hands of Holy Cross. It's Jada Miller starting us off here. Miller walks it off to the right side, guarded by Shadrian McDaniel. Nowhere to go with it, finally bounces to Thatcher in the corner. Ariel Thatcher drives the baseline, slips, falls, loses it out of bounds. Paige Gieske on the defense. It's a turnover for Holy Cross, their 13th of the match so far. I gave the stat at halftime, 16-0. St. Francis has outscored Holy Cross off of turnovers. We'll see if they can add a few more points right here. McDaniel's got 5 points tonight. She fires inside to Jordan Pyle, and Pyle lays it up in traffic and scores. 6 points for Jordan Pyle, as the Saints do indeed add to their point total off of turnovers, and their lead is now 23. Jada Miller crosses over, drives on McDaniel, picks it up, and is fouled. Jordan Pyle called for the reach in. That's the second on the sophomore forward from Australia. First on the team. Bounced in for Kaylin Barlow, and Barlow's fouled going up by Jordan Pyle. So that's back-to-back fouls on Pyle. She's got 3 for the game now. Probably not as big a concern for St. Francis as Barlow's 3 fouls are for Holy Cross because of the big lead. You never want to pick up 2 fouls in the span of 10 seconds, though. Barlow does make the first free throw. She's only a 45% foul shooter, so she does not often make both attempts on a 2-shot trip. This is an exception. She's got an interesting motion. She kind of flips the ball up in the air to herself. It's almost like she's batting it in as opposed to getting a firm shot, but it worked for her that time. Pyle checks out. Acosta, who had the big first half, is back in the game. Here's McDaniel on the left elbow into Caitlin Elward, who backs it over to Acosta. Acosta scores again. How about that assist from Caitlin Elward? I was just talking about batting the ball. She did exactly that right there. Made no attempt to catch it. She saw Acosta open underneath and just tapped it right to her. Acosta now 6 of 6 from the field as Paige Gieske blocks Ariel Thatcher's shot. Tough game for Thatcher so far. She's 0 for 6 from the field. She's turned it over 3 times. Jada Miller is the inbounder. She gets it into Thatcher. She tries the 3. That does not fall. She's 0 for 7 from the field. And it's picked up by Caitlin Elward, her 4th rebound of the game. Here's Elward at the top of the key for 3. Off the mark. Acosta tries to chase it down, but runs out of room as that ball bounces out. It goes to Holy Cross. 8:30 to play in the third quarter. Big lead for St. Francis. Each team has scored in the second half. Saints have outscored Holy Cross 4-2. Ariel Thatcher blocked by Paige Gieske, and Gieske comes down with the rebound. Now Gieske is on the run across half court. Dribbles it to the left, hands it to Leah Sims for three. It's good. Third three-pointer of the game for Leah Sims. She's got 10 points. And she becomes the second Fighting Saint in double figures. Kaylin Barlow down low. Barlow fights it up and misses short. Out of bounds, last touch by St. Francis. Barlow shot that ball from only about 4 feet out, and the shot only went about 1 foot. It was closer to her than it was to the basket when it landed, but it was knocked out by St. Francis. Inbounded to Sarah White, well beyond the arc on the right side. Handed off to Ariel Thatcher. Thatcher drives with the left hand, steps back, kicks it out to Miller for three. It's good. Second time today that Holy Cross has made a three, but it's the first time since their very first possession when Jada Miller knocked one down to make it 3-0 in favor of the visitors. They had missed their last 6 three-pointers, actually 7 three-pointers in a row since then. Caitlin Alward off to the corner for Leah Sims. Sims hounded by Miller, bounced back down low for Alward. Alward up with the left hand, no good off the glass. Rebound to Sarah White. Here comes Holy Cross. This is Berkowitz leading the charge. Out to Thatcher, her three, rims out. Rebound brought in by the offense, Sarah White. Bounce back to Miller, another three-point attempt. Way off, rebounded by Leah Sims. Holy Cross now has 6 offensive rebounds in the game. So they've kept up their strong numbers there. They're the best offensive rebounding team in the conference. Shadrian McDaniel is fouled going to the basket. Despite all the offensive rebounds, they do only have 5 second chance points. Foul on Ariel Thatcher is her first. It's the team's first. And Shadrian McDaniel's first free throw is good. McDaniel, 70% shooter from the stripe. Hits them both. 43-18, the 25-point lead is the biggest of the night for St. Francis. Lob down low for White and ripped away by Acosta. Acosta fires it ahead for McDaniel, lays it off for Paige Gieske, and Gieske lays it in. Extra pass there from McDaniel. Acosta to McDaniel to Gieske. A perfectly executed fast break. Doesn't get much better than that. 45-18, St. Francis. Barlow down low. Drives around Alward. Alward gets back in the play and fouls Barlow on the reach. That's the first foul on Caitlin. And it's the third on the team. It's on the floor. Taylor Nittler and Sydney Taylor check back in for Holy Cross. And we're going the other way. Foul called on Holy Cross. I think that's on Barlow. That's Caitlin Barlow's 4th foul. And it comes on a dead ball. That one hurts Holy Cross. Barlow now 1 away from being knocked out of the game. She's been in foul trouble all night. Caitlin Alward drives on Barlow, trying to force that 5th foul. Misses on the runner, but the rebound is knocked out of bounds by Sydney Taylor, so it's still St. Francis ball. Shot clock did not reset on that one. It's at 16. Ellie Hernandez checks in for Paige Gieske with 5:56 to play in the third quarter. Big lead for the Fighting Saints, trying to pick up their 4th in a row after they were upset by Robert Morris 2 weeks ago today on this floor, 67-59. That had snapped a 12-game winning streak. McDaniel having trouble getting it in, finally finds Ellie Hernandez up top. To Acosta in the left corner, bounce down low for Alward, given right back to Acosta, in and out of her hands. The loose ball is brought in by Jada Miller. Miller trying to run the break. McDaniel stops it, and Miller is called for the travel. Miller wanted to go full speed. McDaniel wouldn't let her. And Miller finally was forced to put the brakes on, and she skidded to a halt. So traveling called against Miller. Saints basketball up by 27 points midway through the third quarter. Leah Sims throws down low for Alward, poked away and stolen. Nittler comes away with the steal after Sydney Taylor had knocked it initially out of Alward's hands. Jada Miller hands it off, and now it's Nittler up top. Mittler drives on Hernandez, shoveled off to Taylor in the corner, hits the three. This is already the highest scoring quarter of the game for Holy Cross as Elwood is called for an offensive foul. Spinning to the basket. Elwood has whistled for her second. Nothing really has gone right for Caitlin Elwood on the offensive end tonight, and that's been okay. They haven't really needed any major contributions from her. Elwood averages 20 points per game. Her season low is 2. And a loss to Marion back on November 8th, so she's already gone past that, but hasn't scored since the first quarter. Another foul called on St. Francis. Ariel Thatcher is going to the free throw line. The first foul called on McDaniel. Holy Cross is in the bonus. Thatcher tries to score for the first time and makes the free throw. Should I take that back? She had scored 2 other points, also from the free throw line, so all of her scores today have come from the line. But she's 4 of 4 from that spot. So the score is now 45-23 as Holy Cross is on a little 5-0 spurt here. Thatcher nearly comes up with a steal. Careless pass made by Leah Sims. Thatcher jumped in front of it and knocked it out of bounds. No harm done for the Saints. They'll reinsert the ball into play. Leah Sims crosses over on Mittler, fires to the corner. Here's Caitlin Elwood. Elwood works her way to the paint, now kicks it to the top for Shadrian McDaniel. On the drive, McDaniel up off the glass and in. McDaniel's got 9 points. And we've got a travel called against Berkowitz on the other end. Shadrian McDaniel's 9 today, ties her season high. The 4th time that she's scored 9 in a game. She has not had a double-figure contest in her career. Today may be the day. The long way still to go in this one. More than 14 minutes still on the clock. McDaniel up top. Over to Sims on the right wing. Shot clock down to 12. To a cutting Acosta. Acosta bounces out to Elwood. Elwood thought about the 3, drives instead. Nearly lost it. Out to McDaniel on the drive. Layup, no. Missed the rim. Knocked out of bounds on Holy Cross, but with just 2 on the shot clock. Saints will have to get one up in a hurry here. McDaniel lobs it in for Elwood. One dribble, puts it up, and scores. Gets the roll. Elwood had to act quickly. She did, and she's got 5 points now for the game. 3-pointer on the other end. Schulteis misses. Battle for the rebound. A foul is called. And which team? I think it's going to go against Acosta. And so that will mean 2 free throws for Holy Cross as they're in the bonus.
St. Francis foul number 21.
First foul on Andriana Acosta. Sarah White is at the line. She misses on her first attempt. White's a 46% free throw shooter. She misses them both. Rebound to Acosta. Here come the Saints. McDaniel on the right wing, guarded by Thatcher. Looks to the top, sends it to the corner instead for Acosta. Acosta puts it on the floor, bumped, puts up the shot, and misses. But she's going to the free throw line. A rare miss for Acosta today. It won't count against her stats. But everything she has put up has gone in. And she'll try to keep that going from the free throw line. 6 of 6 from the field today. Acosta has 12 points. She's now scored 25 total over her last 2 games. And she makes the first free throw. She has tied her second highest scoring output of the season. And now she's tied her highest. 13 points on Saturday against Olivet. 14 today with a big lead over Holy Cross. 50-23. Just over 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Taylor passes to her right on the wing. It's Schulteis. Her pass is deflected by Paige Gieske and taken away by Caitlin Elwood. Elwood on the drive. bounces it to Acosta, who lays it in. 16 now for Acosta, and she's still perfect from the field. 52-23, St. Francis. Here's Schulteis. She picks up her dribble. She's in trouble. Finally bounces it away to Sarah White. Turnaround jumper, White misses it long, and a loose ball foul is called on St. Francis. Refs have called it a lot tighter here in the second half, and as a result, Holy Cross has been able to make some things happen from the free throw line. They had only 2 attempts in the first half. First shot is good from Taylor, 53-24. Sydney Taylor is a 68% foul shooter. Makes them both. 53-25. 5 points for Taylor. Acosta bounces to the free throw line for Hernandez. Bounce to a cutting Paige Gieske, and Gieske lays it in from the left side. Everything St. Francis is trying on offense right now is working out for them. 6 points for Paige Gieske. There's Nittler on the outside. Nittler around a screen, pulls it up top. Over to her right, Taylor. Lob down low for Sarah White. Overthrown. The ball is loose and picked up by Allie Hernandez. Here comes Hernandez on the break. Lobbed ahead for Caitlin Alward. Alward sends it underneath the hoop for Shadrian McDaniel. Right back outside. Alward down low to Acosta. One dribble, layup misses. First miss of the day for Acosta. Little contact, but no foul called. And now it's Holy Cross basketball. Nittler on the left wing. Nittler drives down the center. Throws it up for grabs. It's poked away by Allie Hernandez, but loose ball is tracked down by Sydney Taylor. Holy Cross resets, 10 on the shot clock. Schulteis drives around Allie Hernandez. Forces it up off the backboard, no. Rebound goes to Paige Gieske. Gieske on the run. Out to Alward. Alward drives, layup, yes. 7 points for Caitlin Alward. Quickly on the other end, it's Taylor for Holy Cross. Taylor, air ball, rebounded by Thatcher. She's fouled.
St. Francis foul number 14,
32-point lead for the Fighting Saints. Shadrian McDaniel is called for her second foul. And subs come in for the Fighting Saints. Rexisha Hollis, Lacey Gardner, and Justine Charlesworth are all on the floor. McDaniel checks out with 9 points. Paige Gieske leaves the game. Thatcher makes the first free throw. Caitlin Alward heads to the bench as well. So her 7-game streak of at least 20 points appears to be coming to an end. If she does not return to the game, and she most likely won't if the score remains lopsided like this, it'll snap a string of 17 straight with double figures. 30-point lead for St. Francis late in the third. Final minute of play this quarter. There's a steal from Berkowitz, or Sturkowitz rather. Brooks Sturkowitz flying down the floor, lays it in. A steal and a layup. Good play by Brooks Sturkowitz. 57-29 is the score. 16 points so far in the third quarter for Holy Cross. They only scored 13 total in the first half. St. Francis has also turned up their offense, though, in the third quarter. Lacey Gardner misses the three. Justine Charlesworth has the rebound, and she loses it out of bounds. We'll take it down the other way. Fighting Saints have scored 23 in this quarter after leading by 21 at the half. Here's Thatcher. Thatcher slows it down, waits till about 8 seconds to make her move. At the top, 5 seconds now. Guarded by Charlesworth. Thatcher drives, kicks, baseline jumper. White is good just prior to the buzzer. Count it to end the quarter, and Holy Cross ends the quarter strong. They scored the last 6 points in a row, but at the end of 3, our score is St. Francis 57, Holy Cross 31. Back with the fourth quarter in just a moment. Big lead for the Fighting Saints as we start the fourth quarter, 57-31 over Holy Cross. Lacey Gardner, Allie Hernandez, Andriana Acosta, Justine Charlesworth, and Rexisha Hollis are on the floor for St. Francis as we start the fourth quarter. So 5 subs in the game. And Steve Brooks would absolutely love if they can keep a big lead and remain with subs on the floor for the entirety of the fourth quarter as Allie Hernandez spins around Brooks Sturkowitz. Down to the corner, Lacey Gardner with 17 on the shot clock. Rexisha Hollis is called for the walk. Tough couple of games to wrap up the season. St. Francis is home against Trinity International on Saturday, and then a week from today, the big one to wrap up the season against St. Xavier, who currently sits a half game ahead of them in the standings for first place in the CCAC. Step back 2 for Thatcher. It's short, and the rebound is knocked out of bounds by the Saints. It'll stay with Holy Cross. Anytime you can build a 30-plus point lead in the second half against anybody and give your starters some extra rest, with some big games coming up and then the conference tournament, you'd like to do it. And there's a steal for Allie Hernandez. So far, the reserves have acquitted themselves well. Acosta dribbles to the right. Now on Barlow, spins and travels. 2 possessions for St. Francis in this fourth quarter, 2 traveling violations. So things have been a little sloppy as both teams have turned the ball over. We've only seen 1 attempted field goal in the first 50 seconds of the fourth. Here's Thatcher. Thatcher puts the ball on the floor, steps back at the free throw line, kicks it out to the right wing for Ari Shelton. Now inside Barlow. Barlow against Lacey Gardner, comes up short on the shot, and it's rebounded by St. Francis. Here comes Allie Hernandez. Hernandez guarded by Sturkowitz. Up top finds Charlesworth. Charlesworth inside the arc, handed back outside on the right wing to Allie Hernandez. 12 to shoot. Hernandez backs in, spins to the free throw line, kicks it out to Hollis. Around a screen from Hernandez. 6 seconds to shoot. Hollis, step back, pass to her left, top of the key. Three-pointer Hernandez misses short. Acosta fights for positioning on the rebound, but knocks it out of bounds. It's going Holy Cross's way. Over a minute and a half now into the fourth quarter. Neither team has scored yet. That's just fine with St. Francis. They've got a big lead. Holy Cross, though, needs to pour it on in a hurry. Barlow outside to Thatcher. Thatcher drives on Gardner. A wild bank shot, misses too strong. And the rebound goes to the Fighting Saints. Saints can run a little bit more clock here as the game winds down to under 8 minutes to play. Allie Hernandez circles the perimeter and back around to the top. Hand out to Justine Charlesworth. Over to the right side, Acosta. Acosta drives from the wing into the paint. Kick back out to Hernandez. Step back 3 for Allie Hernandez. That's off. And the rebound goes to Sturkowitz. Saints have not shot the ball particularly well from the outside today. It's really one and probably the only stain on their game so far today, as it's lost out of bounds by Ari Shelton and out of her hands. Leah Sims is one exception to that. Sims hit 3 3-pointers before checking out. Allie Hernandez heads to the bench right now. Josie Graffio makes an appearance. Second straight game that Graffio has seen time on the floor. Here's Acosta. Acosta cuts down the lane. Left-handed layup, no. Barlow got in her way, forced the miss. Here comes Holy Cross on the counter. Thatcher down to the corner for Sturkowitz. Three-pointer misses. Rebound to Rexisha Hollis. And off to Acosta, and the Saints will set up their offensive game. 3 minutes into the fourth quarter, and neither team has scored. Acosta over to Charlesworth, left wing. Charlesworth around the screen, sets herself up for 3, off the mark. Rebound tapped out of bounds, and last touched by Lacey Gardner. So the first couple of times down the floor, Saints turn it over. Now they're getting shots, they're just not hitting them. Here's Ariel Thatcher. Bounced over to Sturkowitz. Sturkowitz races around the perimeter, hands it off to Thatcher. Wanted the 3, now she steps back and does take the 3, and that misses. Thatcher continues to struggle from the field. Here comes St. Francis looking to slow things down, set up their half-court game. They've not been able to extend the lead with the reserves on the floor here in the fourth quarter. Neither have they given up a step. Still a 26-point game. Acosta up top to Charlesworth. Left side, Rexisha Hollis. Bounce down low for Gardner. Backs in against two defenders. Turn around, floats it towards the basket and misses. It's an air ball, rebounded by Thatcher. Here's Thatcher across the midcourt line. Over to her right, Shelton. Ari Shelton, a freshman, just in off the bench for the fourth quarter. Three-point attempt, Sturkowitz. Off the back iron, offensive rebound, Barlow. Back to Shelton, her three-pointer goes. First points of the fourth quarter belonged to Ari Shelton on a three-pointer. It took more than 4 minutes, but we finally got some action here. And a timeout called by Steve Brooks. Not too happy about that last possession. An offensive rebound for Holy Cross set up the made three-pointer. Coming into today's game, Holy Cross was one of the top 10 teams nationally in offensive rebounds. They had 413 of them in their 26 games. And on the counter side, St. Francis is one of the best defensive rebounding teams in the country, but not necessarily because they're so great at rebounding. It's more because they're so great at forcing missed shots. Saints' opponent's field goal percentage entering play today was just 35. And it's at a similar place today for Holy Cross. So the Saints have put together their usual strong defense. In fact, it's been much worse for Holy Cross. They're at 21% only. A couple of weeks ago, St. Francis had the #1 scoring defense in the country. It's in part because of a great defense and in part because they like to slow the game down and limit possessions. The defense coming into today was down from first all the way to third, and that's mostly because they played Olivet Nazarene over the weekend. Anytime you play Olivet, your numbers tend to be skewed a little bit, their style of play. Tigers did score 86 against the Fighting Saints defense this weekend, but St. Francis was able to counter with 92, so it all worked out. It was a season high point total for St. Francis on Saturday as we're back underway. St. Francis possession. And it's thrown away. Out of the timeout, another turnover. That's the 13th turnover committed by St. Francis today. 3 of them have come here in the fourth quarter. 23-point game. Here's Shelton. She hit a three-pointer on the last possession. Over to Sturkowitz. Now along the baseline, Thatcher. Back outside, Taylor for 3. Rattles it home. Back-to-back three-pointers made by Holy Cross. 57-37 is the score. A 20-point game. Josie Graffio drives and draws the foul. Just the first of the quarter against Holy Cross. Maria Cruz-Uceda crouches by the scorer's table. She's ready to come in. And she comes on for Acosta. So Andriana Acosta's day appears to be done. 16 points, a season high for her. Ball is inbounded to Rexisha Hollis. Out to Maria Cruz-Uceda. She fires a 3, misses it badly, and it's rebounded by Holy Cross. Here comes Brooke Sturkowitz on the left wing. Sturkowitz cuts inside, finds an open shooter on the right wing. Taylor misses on the 3. Rebound chased down by the junior reserve center, Maria Cruz-Uceda, in her first season with the program here out of Madrid, Spain. Lacey Gardner up top for Josie Graffio. Dribbles to the right side, pass off to Uceda. Now Josie Graffio spins around the defender, kicks it off to the left corner. 5 seconds to shoot. Lacey Gardner backs in. Gardner out to Cruz-Uceda. Long 2. Misses short. Offensive rebound, Justine Charlesworth. Charlesworth along the baseline. Cuts it outside, Rexisha Hollis. She tries the 3, and she's off the mark. Saints have not scored in the fourth quarter, but they lead the game by 20. On the right side, it's Ari Shelton. Shelton, deep 3, way off. It's well short on that shot. And Lacey Gardner comes down with the rebound. Saints will run a little bit more clock. Holy Cross has had their opportunities to get back into this game. They were down by 26 at the beginning of the quarter. St. Francis has not scored a point. But Holy Cross has not been a whole lot better as Josie Graffio tries to get the roll from the rim. Doesn't get it on the 15-footer. But a loose ball foul is called on Holy Cross. Anna Swiatek is going to come in now for St. Francis. Justine Charlesworth checks out. So everybody has seen the floor now. All able bodies for the Fighting Saints. It's inbounded to the freshman Swiatek. Down low for Gardner. Turnaround off the glass. No. Rebound Cruz Uceda. Cruz Uceda is blocked, and now she tumbles to the ground as she misses on her second chance. And we've got a whistle. Lacey Gardner is on the floor. Gardner has been on the floor for the last few moments. Maria Cruz Uceda toppled over her after she missed a shot attempt a moment ago. Just adding insult to injury. Lacey Gardner is sitting up now. She was lying down on the floor for several moments. Looking at that right leg. Justine Charlesworth is going to come back in for Gardner when we're ready to continue, and hopefully Gardner is able to pull herself up and walk off the floor. She is up in walking position now, and a very noticeable limp, but she does not appear as though she's being helped off in any way, so that's a positive sign, even though that noticeable limp is obviously not the way that Lacey Gardner wanted to end today's game. Charlesworth will go the rest of the way for her. Just over 3 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Here's Thatcher. Thatcher hounded by Swiatek. Gets a screen going to the right side. Thatcher to the basket, lays it in. 8 points in the game for Ariel Thatcher. 8-0 is the score here in the fourth quarter in favor of Holy Cross. First made field goal for Thatcher today. Her first 6 points all came from the free throw line, as Swiatek has a nice little shot off the drive from about 6 feet out. And there's the first points of the quarter for St. Francis. 59-39 our score. Swiatek scores her first 2 points of the game. Three-pointer for Taylor is good. Sydney Taylor makes her second three of the quarter. She's got 11 points now to lead Holy Cross. Swiatek over to Charlesworth. Maria Cruz Uceda on the right side. Drives, bumped, and a foul called on Kaylin Barlow, I believe. And that's going to be her fifth. It does go on Barlow, so she's done for the day. Entered play today, averaging 9 points, 10 rebounds per game, and never really got going in this one. In foul trouble most of the way. She finishes with 6 points, 5 rebounds. And she'll be replaced for the final 2:14. Timeout called. St. Francis has a 17-point lead. And it's a game that really hasn't even been this close in the second half. St. Francis was up 21 at halftime. They extended that lead at one point as big as 32. But they removed most of their starters by the midway point of the second quarter, or the third quarter rather. And so Holy Cross has been able to tighten it up a little bit, make things look more respectable, but they really haven't been in the game throughout the second half, which is a shame for Holy Cross because they have had opportunities. St. Francis went about 7 minutes without scoring. But Holy Cross was only able to cut 8 points out of the lead during that 7-minute stretch. They went from a 26-point game to being an 18-point game, but this is as close as it's been in the second half right now at 59-42. And we've got just 2:14 remaining. St. Francis ball underneath the Holy Cross bench as they'll inbound it coming out of the break. Swiatek to trigger man. Lobbed in for Hollis. Rexesia Hollis takes one dribble, drives, misses the runner, and it's rebounded by Sarah White. Quickly on the other end, Sturkowitz slows it down. Now Sturkowitz drives and scores over Rexesia Hollis and gets the foul to boot. Good drive by Brooke Sturkowitz. And Sturkowitz can make it a 3-point play. She misses on the free throw. Maria Cruz Uceda comes down with the rebound. St. Francis trying to salt this one away. Graffio to Cruz Uceda at the top of the key. She's at the free throw line. Kick back out to Swiatek. Swiatek over to Hollis on the left side. Drives. Floater from Rexisha Hollis misses. She grabs her own rebound. Back up with it. No. Rebound knocked out of the hands of Sarah White, but it trickles over to Ariel Thatcher. Thatcher wings it off to the left side. Three-pointer for Shelton is good. Ari Shelton off the bench has hit 2 3-pointers here in the fourth quarter. Just a 12-point game with 1:20 to go. Steve Brooks sticking with his reserves to close it out here. They'd like to finish strong over this last minute plus. Justine Charlesworth over to Josie Graffio. Bounced in for Cruz Uceda. She fakes, now backs in, turns to the right and travels. (59-47) St. Francis. Holy Cross has the ball with 61 seconds to go. Off to the right side, Sturkowitz, three-point attempt is good. Got a 9-point game here with 50 seconds left. Holy Cross has outscored St. Francis 19-2 in the fourth quarter. Justine Charlesworth tightly defended by Thatcher. Now Swiatek drives it to the top of the key. Dribbles towards the basket, fouled going up for the layup. And 2 free throws coming Swiatek's way. Foul is called on Sydney Taylor, her second. Holy Cross entered play today 7-11 in conference play. They were tied with Governor State for the 8th seed in the CCAC. Swiatek misses on the first free throw. 4 of 7 from the line this year. Cardinal Stritch just a half game behind both Governor State and Holy Cross. As Swiatek misses them both. Maria Cruz Uceda rebounds, misses on the layup. Rebound tapped out to Ariel Thatcher. Thatcher ahead for Shelton. Shelton gives it to Taylor. Down to the corner for Thatcher. Shelton tries another 3. She's already hit 2 of them. Can't make it 3. Battle for the rebound, knocked out of bounds. St. Francis ball with 19 seconds to play. Holy Cross is in a tough position. They're trying to get into the conference tournament. This is looking like a loss today, although they'll fight to the finish. And their next game coming up is against St. Xavier. Bad time of year to have to go through this difficult portion of the schedule. Inbound towards Josie Graffio. She's grabbed by Sturkowitz, and Graffio will head to the other end for 2 free throws. 5th foul of the quarter on Holy Cross. Anna Swiatek was fouled on the last possession. She missed both of her free throws. And then on the other end of the floor, Ari Shelton had an open 3 that would have made it a 6-point game with 20 seconds left. She missed the 3-pointer. And that may be all she wrote for Holy Cross, but the Saints can't make their free throws right now. St. Francis, that is. They've missed 3 in a row. Graffio's second attempt makes it 4 straight misses. Rebound for Holy Cross and a quick timeout called by Tom Robbins. 17.5. This has become much more difficult than it was supposed to be for St. Francis. They have shot the ball woefully here in the fourth quarter. And on the other side, Holy Cross is actually shooting the ball pretty well here in the fourth. They got their shooting percentage for the game up to 29, which is certainly not a good number, but consider it was under 20 for a while there. Fighting Saints have been outscored 19-2 in the fourth. They had a 26-point lead. None of the 5 starters has played a single minute here in the fourth quarter. So you'd expect Holy Cross to go on a little bit of a better run going against reserves with their starters on the floor, but I'm sure this has been more than free throws. If they had made a couple of those even, you'd probably be able to say this game is over right now. Instead it goes on. Brooke Sturkowitz, step back 3, air ball, and straight out of bounds. So maybe that one will finally be the final nail in Holy Cross coffin. Doesn't look like they're going to foul here. If the Saints get this across half court, it'll be game over, and they do. Holy Cross backs off, and this is how today's game will wrap up. St. Francis 59, Holy Cross 50. All season, St. Francis had played only 3 games, 3 of their first 26 within 10 points. And now they've played 2 in a row. Though this one was a 32-point game in the third quarter. Holy Cross outscored St. Francis by 17 in the fourth, playing against the St. Francis substitutes. And so we end with a final score that doesn't quite indicate exactly how this game was played. 59-50 is our final. St. Francis gets the victory, and that's all that matters right now. How it happened in the end is not critically important. St. Francis improves to 24-4 on the season. They're now 19-1 in CCAC play. St. Xavier is in action as we speak at Trinity International right now. If they win that game, they will once again move a half game ahead of St. Francis. If they lose, the Fighting Saints will be a half game ahead of St. Xavier in the conference standings. Those two teams will play each other a week from tonight, but there's still one more game between now and then as St. Francis takes on Trinity International this Saturday. Preview that one in just a second. First, let's look at some of the final stats from tonight. St. Francis shot 40% from the field. Holy Cross 29. The Saints just 27% on 3-pointers, and that includes Leah Sims' 3 for 4. The rest of the team went just 3 of 18, so they struggled from the outside. Other than that, though, very good. These two teams tied in the end in rebounds. Holy Cross turned it over 21 times. St. Francis 14. Leading scorer for Holy Cross, Sydney Taylor, had 11 points. For St. Francis, 2 players in double figures. Andriana Acosta had 16 points, Leah Sims had 10, but a very balanced day for the Fighting Saints today. 6 players had at least 6 points, and 8 different players scored at least once for St. Francis. And in a game where you only score 59 points, to have 6 players with 6 points and 8 players who have scored overall shows some pretty impressive balance there. Again, our final score, St. Francis 59, Holy Cross 50. Holy Cross falls to 8-19, 7-12 in conference. They'll have to win their final couple of games to have any shot at making the conference tournament. Next up for St. Francis, they're at home against Trinity International Senior Day this Saturday. It's a 1 o'clock start time to that game, and we'll have the broadcast for you right here through GoFightingSaints.com and the St. Francis YouTube channel. So tune in. That's going to do it for today's game. Again, our final score, 59-50. St. Francis defeats Holy Cross. Until next time, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off. Second part of the doubleheader coming up shortly between St. Francis and Holy Cross. The men's game starts at 7, so join us for that one as well. Terry Bonadonna now saying goodbye for now. Enjoy the rest of your night.